investigations and NBA stop, and now embracing the mentality of the one and dones, which has finally paid off with a national championship. Longtime Calipari friend Fran Fraschilla on Mike and Mike this morning talking about Calipari.
If you took out a lot of people, coaches who maybe have at times violated NCAA rules out of the Hall of Fame, college coaches, you'd have one or two guys left. It's just really the reality of it. I'm not saying that coaches knowingly break the rules, but when you're in the big time of college recruiting, you're constantly living on the edge. John has a unique advantage because A, he's got Kentucky, B, he's formerly been an NBA coach, and C, he's had a great gift through the years of networking with people that at this point in his career can really help him in a variety of ways, and particularly in recruiting.
All right, so Fran's overall point is they're all doing it.
Yes.
That's the takeaway that one can have from that. Does he have a point?
You know what? I understand where Fran is going, and he's trying to say this is the landscape. One guy's just doing it better than other guys, and he doesn't get caught up, and for whatever reason, all the wreckage or all the damage, somehow his hands always wind up being clean while the programs he leaves behind have to take the brunt of it. And John Calipari, I'm happy he won a championship. He's recruited well.
Yeah.
He finally got there. But you know what, Skip? I'm going to be I feel good for those kids that he recruited. I like that team a lot. I don't think you can root against those kids. But it's hard for me to embrace John Calipari. It just is. It doesn't feel good. Yeah. I'm sorry. I respect him as a recruiter and a coach. But no, there's been damage done behind him. And I know he always gets away with it. And his name was cleared. His name is cleared. I'm saying. But still, he can't feel good because those were programs that he ran and it happened under his watch. If you're going to get the credit for when things are good, when you're there, you have to take some of the blame when things don't go right. So
I'm fascinated listening to what you're saying as far as, he deserves a lot of blame. If he has not been convicted...
No, but that's not what I'm talking about.
What were you talking about?
I'm just saying it's the same thing. It's an under-your-watch situation. That's all I'm saying is it's just funny how every time he leaves, I don't know, is Kentucky going to hold on to this championship? Or 5 years from now they're going to vacate this? I don't know. Because there might be something, and then they'll say, well, what do you want to, what are you going to say to him? His hands are clean, but yet Kentucky won a championship, and it doesn't count.
Bruce, it is an interesting dilemma because it's happened to him not once, but twice. And I know that
it's a pattern.
He hasn't been convicted of anything. He hasn't.
And that's where I say, we're always as athletes, charged with different things. And we don't want to be put in a certain category if we have not been convicted of anything. And that's all I'm saying. Because
there's a difference athlete and a coach. Coach is at the top. That's everything under him.
But my point is it doesn't feel good. I'm not convicted. I just said it doesn't feel good to me. That's all.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I appreciated what Fran said on Mike and Mike this morning. It was a painfully honest assessment of college basketball coaching. Yet, it's hard for me to give in to the notion that kind of everybody's doing it and leap to the conclusion that this makes John Calipari a great basketball coach. Does he have the best network in college basketball? That's basically what Fran is saying, and he is at a great place to recruit, and he does have the NBA background, though he wasn't a great NBA coach by any stretch.
But he also gets kids to the NBA, which is a big selling point, and that's what kids want.
It's a huge selling point. Whenever these guys are coming from the backgrounds that they come from,
the kids he's recruiting,
exactly.
They want to know kids.
In my opinion, he's kind of like a Jerry Tarkanian. Jerry Tarkanian was able to get guys and get them to play at another level that others couldn't get those guys to play at. Bob Huggins, same guy, same type of guy. They're able to do something with these kids to get them into a better situation, life after school, whether it's 1 year or 4 years.
Yeah, we just made the case when we did our game analysis that John took his foot off the gas and gave Bill Self a chance to coach his way back into that game. And Calipari has repeatedly underachieved in this tournament with high seeds. He is until now, he has not lived up to a seed that he brought into the tournament.
Correct.
Okay, so because of his networking, John said after the game that he shrugged to, I think it was to Andy Katz, and said, you know, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he said, you know, my next goal is I'd like to go unbeaten. There's no coach in college basketball who would win one national championship and say, you know, I think from now on I got a new goal. I think I want to win every game next year. Okay, the only way he can do that is because he knows that right now, even though the current college high school crop not committed yet, the 2 or 3 kids that I was watching the McDonald's game that are not committed, I know where they're going to go. They're going to John. John knows that he's going to get them, and he'll start over next year. And he does have some Phil Jackson in him. He's a great manipulator of big egos. And again, I still think that Anthony Davis became the leader that he's never had, and that Anthony Davis' maturity and presence helped that team be the team.
Willingness to sacrifice points for defense.
And that's
very
that's
uncommon.
something he's never had as a top recruit as well. I think he's starting to go after different type of recruits now. It's no longer just that fantastic player that has other issues. He's learned from some of the guys that he's had in the past that, hey,
these guys are still good, though.
They're still, I'm saying.
They're still getting the best.
They may not be the top guys, but he's going to go for a guy that maybe can listen to what he's trying to convey, especially dealing with them for 1 year, possibly 2.
Yeah.
Possible. Yeah, I mean, you would evolve. You would learn from past experiences. Anthony Davis, I think we agree on this, not just on the court, special kid, special talent. You did see that maturity last night. You saw a kid who went out there and said, I don't care if I score.
That's it. When he said that to his teammates, in college, I'm going to say, I remember when I was in college, and there was nothing as selfless as what he did during that huddle, saying, you know what, fellas, hey, I'm struggling right now.
I'll play D, I'll rebound, I'll block shots.
I'm going to play D, I'm going to do those things.
Mature beyond his years.
That is special, and whoever ends up with this young man.
Yeah, and it was telling after the game that Anthony Davis said, you know, I'd envisioned in my head how this would play out, and when it was over, I would fall down on the floor crying. And he said I couldn't do it. You know why I couldn't? Because he expected to win that game.
I think so. Yeah.
You know what? This celebration wasn't as crazy as I thought it was.